So you've got a president who represents this big, established regional power bloc. And then you have a military captain who's leading a brand new breakaway alliance. They meet in Burkina Faso, and that one meeting, well, it sits right at the heart of a deeply divided West Africa. Let's get into what's really happening here.
And really, this whole situation, it all boils down to this one single massive question. Can a handshake, a few conversations, can that really start to mend the kind of deep political fractures that are reshaping this entire region? All right, so let's set the scene. We're in Burkina Faso, and Sierra Leone's president, Julius Maada Bio, has just arrived. He's there to meet the country's transitional leader, Captain Ibrahim Traore. And let me tell you, this is no routine diplomatic visit. This moment is absolutely loaded with meaning.
And you've got to get this. This visit was a promise he'd kept. See, President Bio had already popped in once before, really briefly, just to apologize for a delay. So the fact that he came back, that signals a much deeper commitment. The real question is, a commitment to what exactly?
Okay, so to really grasp why this one meeting is such a big deal, we need to zoom out a bit. You need to understand the two major opposing forces at play here. Because this is way bigger than just two leaders. It's about two competing visions for the future of West Africa.
So on one side, you've got ECOWAS. Think of them as the old guard, the established, traditional power structure in the region for decades. And President Bio, the man who just landed in Burkina Faso, he's the current leader of this group.
And then you've got the AES. This is the new kid on the block, a mutual defense alliance cooked up by Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Now, why'd they form it? Well, they broke away from ECOWAS precisely because they felt like the old guard was failing them, especially when it came to security. So what you have is this incredible tension. You've got the established bloc, ECOWAS, which has even threatened to militarily intervene against its own former members. And they're facing off against this new alliance, the AES, which was basically born out of defiance. That is the huge chasm that President Bio is trying to cross. So what's President Bio's play here? What's the official message? Well, he came holding an olive branch. He tried to frame this whole massive conflict not as some political dispute, but more like a family disagreement. I mean, this quote right here, this is the heart of his entire message. It's a direct appeal to a shared identity, saying, hey, whatever our problems are, we're family. We can and we should handle this together internally. It's a really powerful, unifying thing to say. And he got personal with it, too. He drew this direct parallel, reminding Captain Traore that he, President Bio, was also once a soldier who led his country. He held up his own story, bringing peace to Sierra Leone, as proof that it can be done, as a kind of model of hope for Burkina Faso. Okay, so that's the official story, right? All unity and family. But on the streets, the reaction was, well, a whole lot different. For a lot of people, these nice words started to sound pretty hollow when you compare them to recent actions. And that's the question that started bubbling up everywhere. You know, after years of feeling ignored or even threatened by ECOWAS, a lot of people are asking, are these words really the start of a new chapter, or is this just more empty promises? And wow, this one comment from the public just hits the nail on the head. The feeling is that ECOWAS was really quick to threaten its own members, but painfully slow to help them fight the actual threat of terrorism that's been tearing the region apart. At the end of the day, it's pretty simple. People are just plain tired of speeches. They want to see real support. They want to know if this friendly visit is actually going to lead to tangible help on the ground in the fight for their security and their stability. And you know, all this skepticism, it's feeding into something much bigger, a passionate, widespread call for a totally different kind of leadership, one that truly unites and fights for the people, not just for political power. It's basically a direct challenge to leaders on both sides of this divide. People are saying, stop focusing on your own positions and your own power. Instead, set an example, stand firm, and actually fight for us, the people who are looking to you for protection. Make a real difference. And you have to ask, where is all this frustration coming from? Well, a big part of it is looking outward. Commentators and regular people are seeing other global blocs standing together, totally united in their policies, while they feel Africa remains internally divided, just holding itself back. So let's bring it all back. Where does this single meeting between the diplomat and the captain leave us? The region is absolutely at a crossroads. This could be a genuine turning point, the very first step toward reconciliation. Or it could be something else entirely. Ultimately, the entire region is kind of holding its breath. The nice words have been spoken, the handshakes have been made, but the big question hangs in the air. Was this the beginning of real change, or was it just another performance for the cameras? Honestly, only time, and more importantly, action, will tell.